beautiful day.
Rick, first topic I want to talk about. Here we are, it's a new year, and we hear it all the time. What's going to happen with the stock market? Should I invest? Should I not invest? Is it a good time to buy stocks? Give me a prediction. What kind of returns are we going to see? You know, we hear it over and over. So let's talk a little bit about that.
It's interesting, Alan. Here we are, mid-January.
Yeah.
Still wondering where last year went.
Yeah.
But like most years, this time of year, a lot of people are making predictions about what the market's going to do. You hear it, I hear it, we read it, and we get questions about it. So maybe we should take just a couple of minutes and review some of the past predictions that financial experts have made, and not to single out any of these experts, but just to give an indication or an example of what we can expect from predictions on the stock market. An article that was talking about Jeffrey Gundlach's predictions for 2013, and basically what he says in this article is that the stock market will not repeat last year's 32% return on the S&P 500 stock market index. What do you think about that prediction?
Well, so what does that mean? Does that mean it's going to be less? Does that mean it's going to be more?
Well,
if it's 32.8, is he correct then? You know, that's a pretty vague prediction, and there's probably a good chance that he's right. The stock market will probably not have the exact same return. I can predict it's going to rain this weekend, unless the storm moves north.
Unless. Good point.
Unless the storm goes north, it's going to rain this weekend.
Good. Well, if we move past predicting the future and we take a look at what has already happened, take a look at recent history, I think most of our audience are familiar with Morningstar, a very reputable rating and research firm. Each year they come out with a publication that recognizes the past year's top performing money managers. So it gives us a little bit of retrospect as to who did well in the prior year. Now some people, I think the problem with this, Alan, is that some people may take that information and view it as an investment strategy going forward. This money manager performed exceptionally well last year. Maybe that's where I should put my money going forward for this next year. So we did a little bit of research. We took a look. And how about if we just share those results?
Absolutely.
We went back to, again, 2012. And this article by Morningstar came out in early 2013, looking back at the year 2012, and announced 5 winners, top performing money managers, for the year 2012 in 5 different categories. So what we wanted to find out was how many of those winning money managers repeated that performance or made the list again in 2013. And that report came out last week for this past year. And would you have guessed, Alan, that only one of the 5, 20%, of the money managers, the winning money managers for 2012, repeated in 2013. Does that come as a surprise?
It does not, so if you put all your money and hopes and dreams into the previous year's winners, probably didn't do as well the following year. So, it's kind of like, to me, predicting the best money managers is like predicting the Final Four in March. We can look at how teams have played in the past, what we think is going to happen. But now I don't have these numbers in front of me, but I know last year ESPN, I'm guessing over in the millions of people filled out brackets. They looked at the information, what teams were the best, who did the best, and I don't think there were any perfect brackets, and probably a handful, if any, picked the Final Four correctly. So to me it's similar. Picking what's going to actually happen in the tournament, it's impossible because unknowns happen, and there are always teams that did well in the past that don't do well going forward, or someone always creeps up like, Wichita State last year. So, it's probably even tougher to pick winning money managers than to pick who's going to be in the Final Four.
Well, if we look back over the past 5 years and see how many of the best money managers outperformed the stock market index, which is measured by the Standard & Poor's 500,
right?
There's about a 25% success rate, which tells us that about 1 out of 4 money managers over a 5-year period will outperform the stock market index or the stock market average. It's not a very high rate,
right? And that's
of the best,
yeah,
just simply outperforming or beating that index. Now those that do win, those that do land in that top 25%, the number of those that continue to outperform going forward 1 year, 3 years, 5 years is about 25%. Right. So about 1/4 of the top 25% continue to outperform, which tells me, Alan, that over time the odds of beating the stock market index consistently get lower and lower and lower as time goes on. Posting last year's top performing mutual funds is sort of like posting last year's winning lottery numbers.
Yeah, right.
In the way that
yeah,
it really gives us no useful information going forward.
Sure.
If we take a look at all of this and we tell our audience that making predictions offers no useful information for strategies going forward, then how do we set expectations?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I think people should know by now in our conversations that our philosophy is you cannot predict. Okay, nobody knows the future. You can make predictions. It's going to rain next month. Vague, not clear, no specific predictions are going to be accurate every time. If you guess right, then you're lucky. It's luck, not skill. So, but I do think there are probably some anomalies that have happened in the past with markets that we can expect. Maybe we have some expectation of something that we know is probably going to happen, correct?
Yes.
So I would say one of those, again, I'm going to be vague and maybe you can give me more specific statistics. I'm guessing we can expect this year the markets are going to go up some months. The markets are probably going to go down some months. Is that fair?
I think you're absolutely
correct.
Is
that something to expect?
That's the best prediction that I've heard all year.
I'm probably going to be correct on that. So, but are there probably, maybe different variances of ups or downs or something that we maybe could expect to see? Doesn't mean it's guaranteed, but maybe it is expected.
Well, you bring up some good points there. So let's ask J.P. Morgan.
Okay.
A very well-respected and older financial firm.
Yeah.
What they say about the market expectations, and they recently did a study.
Okay.
And they went back in this study to 1980, so that covers about a 33-year period.
Okay.
And what they tell us in this study, Alan, may shock you, and that is the market can be expected to decline every single year.
I'll be darned.
Every single year the market's going to go down. So
bold.
If people are looking for predictions, there's a prediction you can count on.
Yeah.
In fact, in this 33-year study, they found that the average intra-year decline was 14.7%, or almost 15%.
Does that mean?
It's a beautiful day, the sun is up, the music's playing, and even if it started raining, you won't hear this boy complaining, 'cause I'm glad that you're the one who got away. It's a beautiful day.